All right, guys. Rough Friday. Good week, but rough Friday. So we added some accounts to the portfolio. Got a couple extra futures accounts passed, which was a good thing. Um, but Friday, wow, yeah, we got waxed Friday. We got washed and waxed. So we'll try to rebound this week. We do have holiday tomorrow. I know my futures traders, everything closes up about 12:45 uh, Eastern Standard Time. So I don't expect a whole lot of movement um, in the New York session tomorrow. But let's just get into this week. A couple nice plays on the horizon, especially with JPY pairs, and let's just get into it. So, bonds pretty straightforward. I'm expecting more continuation to the upside. So I'm leaning bearish dollar, and this. But I don't know how far we'll take it to the upside. We may test these highs. We may just come fill in some of these imbalances. Let me turn sorry guys. Fill in some of these imbalances here. We could take the highs here, fill in an imbalance here, and same thing over here. But we've taken that previous quarter high. So unless we're just gonna displace through that, I do expect us to start some retracement here, and we have all these equal lows, all this built up liquidity that we've been running. Um, so let's get into the dollar. So dollar's interesting. Um, we had just a wild week, man. We sold off on Monday, and we've done nothing. So on the weekly, we had a bearish previous week, but that was all Monday. So on the daily, so as my daily range here, I'm still from here. We had an internal breaker structure here, but we also have an external change of character, market structure shift, whatever here. So we did reach up back into OTE here, and then we sold off. So this short range right here is where I'm looking. So if we get into let's go to the hourly. So I'll put this black box here because after we sold off on Monday, we had nothing going on. This was all irrelevant price action. So I'm not looking for anything in this area until we get out of here. I'm actually gonna leave this on my chart. As long as the dollar's in here, I'm not really looking either way. So as you can see, we swept the previous day high, and we started selling off. So we could easily come down here for a continuation, or we could come back up here, and this is more of what I expect to fill in some of these imbalances, and maybe possibly even some of these imbalances here. Um, so you could start getting a stair step up this week, and then we'll get a sell off, and then maybe try to get in somewhere here. But I definitely do expect downside for the dollar. And even with Monday being a holiday, they may start to run it up on Monday, so we can get an actual range to be able to trade off of. So I'll be looking anywhere above this high. So we could fill in this imbalance here between that high and here. So which actually lines up pretty well with everything going on. So inside this range is where I'll be looking to short, and if I can catch something, maybe just scalps on the way up here, I'll do that as well. Um, let's take a look at our indices real quick, and then we'll get into Forex a little bit. All right, let's see what we have. Oops. All right. So even with indices, I feel like we're catching the everything's topping off. And I feel like we found our or we are getting close to the top of our actual uh, our ranges. And what you can see here, I don't trade formations like this, but you have this broadening formation here, right? And we just bouncing from side to side on the range. Um, you know, pretty much same thing here, but we're not broadening here. We're actually we're tightening a little bit, and you can even argue that we're starting to, especially on NQ, we're starting to create structure that is bearish. After we swept previous month high on on all the indices, I expected us to get some sell-off because we have just been trending upwards for a while, just such a long time. So I do expect us some downside. And I have this internal range, especially on NQ, which I like to trade. That let's go to the 1 hour. All right. That I think we will come back up here and fill in some of these gaps, and then continue to sell off. But I do expect some type of upside. Um, As you can see, this is my YM trade that, man, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. But I did catch YM here, but yeah, what a Friday, man. What an actual Friday. But yeah, I expect some maybe, you get some of this and then we get a hard sell-off. Because if you look at the materials, the energy sector, they're all at basically at the top of the range. So I do want to see some sell-off here, but I will buy into this for a little bit. Let's check out gold first. Gold is interesting because uh, let me see. Um, Wow, these are my plays last week. I caught I caught that one on Thursday, and I caught a scalp Friday in Asia. But I missed, never came back to my entry here. I had another trade on. I was looking to take it back up to this part of the range, but missed that one. All good, can't complain because gold did me right last week. But let's go to, I want to show you what we have. So we had this crazy sell-off, and now we're building back up. But the thing about gold is gold can actually go either way right now for me. Um, we took out these all these equal highs here. Let me remove that. But as of now, um, what I would be looking at is some more continued upside. This isn't real significant for me after we broke this. Uh, so maybe what we'll do is come in, and I could see where we would, come in, create something, create some structure, and then maybe sweep that into the upside. Um, do we run the highs? I don't know. Or, do we come back down? I'm not sure. But I will be looking for a couple plays to the upside. And maybe even possibly shorts because we have all this liquidity to get ran right here. This is not holding. This is not holding anybody, and then we have these imbalances to fill. So silver's a little bit silver's a little bit easier on the structure side. Um, and I think I would be looking for more continued upside, at least to this high. I want to see this high get taken. We did break, we had a breaker structure here, but there was no follow through, right? No follow through. So whenever I don't get follow through, the high has to go for me. So I would want to see again, maybe we sell off. Mm, Sorry, maybe we sell off here. Um, I don't know if we take the low or not, but but I would definitely want to see this taken. And we get up here, do a little dance, and maybe we sell off from here. But we have imbalances to fill here, over here. There's just been no, this is all selling here. There's been no buying from, this entire point. Um, we don't have it from here to here. Ooh, goodness gracious, my bad. So, I would like to see some of this filled in. So I will be looking for silver. If you're, hopefully your broker has adjusted and or your prop has adjusted and they let you buy and trade and sell silver again, and gold as well, because I know some of them were blocking, but not sure how that's going. Oof. All right. Let's see what else we got here. You know what? Let's get into GJ real quick. I mean, not GJ. I'm just yen in general because this is probably um, let's go here. So I am looking for just more continued upside here. We basically you have in the short term, you have these equal highs, but overall you have this high here. And we the what happened was in that election, and this is something I was kind of worried about, is that price was already priced in. The election was already priced in. And so from there, we didn't get a sell-off like I thought we might. But that's fine because if we're just going to continue, if the yen is just going to continue to the upside, we can trade that beautifully. So and this is what I expect. So on this daily, you could see a little reversal here. I don't even think that we get the reversal down to fill this gap or this imbalance. I don't think we get it before we get it to the upside. But I do expect continued, you know, uh, continued upside for the yen, which also means we're going to short for the other side. So let's see what we have here, and they're pretty straightforward this week. I mean, it's just I'm going to be looking for yen pair shorts, um, especially with USD JPY. So if we take a look at that, let's see. Where's my currencies? Oh, I'm on futures. Sorry, guys. Okay. So here, once we had our shift here, right? Um, and especially, after this weekly candle, it was just straight selling off. It's just all black. We may come in, and I would like to leave these lows here. I would like to leave these lows, and I would just want to see some type of retracement to fill in some of these imbalances. Um, I don't know if it comes all the way up, but I would be looking, even if we so just this last week range, if we, if I'm looking at 50% of this range, right, of the weekly candle, we have an imbalance sitting right at the 50. Um, so we could just come up. Yeah, I always do this. We could just come up, fill in something, and then I expect to sell off. And we have a little volume imbalance here, a bunch of failure swings here. So I definitely will be looking for those sales. I would be looking at Euro JPY, which has really nice. So you've already gotten your shift here, right? So you've gotten your shift here. You had that failure swing up here, and now same thing. I'll be looking for a retracement here, and then to sell off. With GJ, right? This is where you have you have your divergence here because Euro didn't take this high, and then we've had our shift here. Um, we've had our shift here, so same thing, up, and then we move. Um, so these three, USD, JPY, Euro, and GJ, those are tops on the list for next week, as well as let's get into the Euro real quick. Um, Now Euro, I do expect more upside after we broke structure here, and we're in this this range right here, right? Right, and let's just go to um. So we're in this range, and again, we did nothing all week long, nothing all week long. Um, so I actually do expect a little retracement. Now we could sell off, take a low, which could create some type of divergence SMT, and then we could run up to the highs, or um, maybe we create failure swings. I don't know, but I will be looking for 1 to 2 days to the upside after we create some type of structure at the lows. Um, Same thing with, oh, oh, sorry, let's move that. Same thing with GU. I would be looking for some upside here after we create some structure. I probably won't trade tomorrow. I'll probably just leave it. But this is probably my number one majors play. This is just this is what you want to see on a chart, right? So internally, we've had that market structure shift, but even externally, we had another break of structure on the daily. We came in here, we filled in, for the most part, we filled in some this imbalance, right here. But what I would love to see actually is a sweep of this low and then to the upside. Um, so if we go to the 1 hour here, I don't even need that. Well, it doesn't matter. Um, Now we could come down here and fill in some of this stuff here. I don't know how far we get down, but I'll be looking to the upside on Aussie. There's no selling for me on Aussie US dollar. I just Aussie is the strongest currency right now out there, and so anything against Aussie, um, yeah, anything Aussie's leading, I'm buying. Anything Aussie's against, I'm selling. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, you know what? USD CAD. This is another one that I'm looking short for, right? This is such an ugly weekly candle, but um, I'm looking short here, so I do expect us to come up here. I don't know if we take this high or not. I don't really see it necessary for us to take this high because internally, that's just that's a break and that should be protected. So I would like to see come up here, see a failure swing, and then a sell-off. And because the dollar was ranging, you could easily get some sharp moves. So I definitely would like to see more downside on USD CAD. Same thing for USD Chef, but this is actually a little easier structure-wise to trade because let's just go to the 4 hour. Um, we've left all these equal lows, right? And we've left all this liquidity here. Um, Now we have left some to the upside as well, and we have some imbalances to fill. I don't know if we get there. It's just I feel like with the Swiss franc, the selling pressure, quote unquote, will uh, will be hard for to push it up, especially against the dollar. So I'll be looking only. I'm only looking for sales on USD Chef this week. Um, let's see. We're gonna run through this really quick this week. Bitcoin. Bitcoin was interesting, and Bitcoin is interesting because we kind of once we broke this low, we just kind of there was nothing stopping it from getting here, like from coming here. And I've been looking at this golden zone to be buying up. Now, I'll say this. What you could do. I don't trade channels and things like that, but this is what we're creating right now. Because we put in this low here, we're creating this type of channel, right? Right. And so I don't do the whole mean reversion, especially with crypto. You don't really want to trade mean reversion. You really want to trade kind of breakouts. Um, but what we've been doing is just kind of bouncing, stair stepping down, stair stepping up. So what I would like to see is maybe even if I'm still short, I'm still short. Um, but if we don't break the lows break the lows here, or even if we do, I expect some type of uh, just maybe testing the other side, right? Um, and then a sell off. But I ex I would look to get in on. I would wait, right? If we do come down here and break the lows, I would look for maybe a retest and then a sell off. If we start going up here, I'm not buying Bitcoin right now. I would just wait until we 2 week shift, and then I would look for entry here at least until 60,132 till we take that low. And this same thing with Ethereum, where we are. We're literally in the same place with this range and this. There we go. Um, I now with this one, I don't even know if we'll retest anything up here. Ethereum might just start selling off so hard. So you may just get a drop, continued drop, and then something like that. But I'm not buying anything right now. And especially with Bitcoin, oops, under this under this area, I'll start looking for buys, but not trading buys, like personal buys. I'll start looking, um, but according to this, my we could get as low as 22,352. The way just the way that the chart is set up at this moment, right? Um, and that would actually coincide with my buy everything. So at this point, literally at this point, I'm buying everything. I'll be buying Bitcoin daily. And we'll probably start right here. I'll start to be buying at 44. But that is pretty much what we have for the day. What I will say, this is what I have. I didn't put it on my copper. Let me do this. Let me find copper real quick and let me go to 3 month. All right. I didn't even put the plays of the week and stuff. Little rush, a little rush this week, but this was last week, and this is what I have for this week, right? Oops. This is my order of pairs, right? You know, this is my order of pairs, and this is what I'm looking at for longs. Um, for longs, and this is for shorts. This is what I'm looking at. Oops, sorry. So these would be my short plays, as well as I'll be looking for indices shorts after maybe 1 or 2 days of upside, or vice versa. So we'll keep indices. I don't keep I kind of fluid on that. So because intraday we'll catch a short, we'll catch a long, we'll counter trend, whatever. But this is what I have for the week. And oh, let me change that. All right, this is what I have for the week. This is my relative strength. These are the pairs I'm watching. This is how I'm watching it, and yeah, we'll get into it during the week. Sorry, it was just so rushed. I actually have to run out. I was just trying to make sure I get it in before markets open, and for anybody that was looking for it, again, I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a great week. Manage your money right, manage your risk right, keep adding accounts, keep stacking payouts, and I'll catch you guys next week.